Hi everyone. So I have how's your day going? So I just wanted to let you all know the reason why we're starting here and not at the actual start of chapter 3 was because during my initial recording the power went out. And well, nothing saved. And since Burial has no way to go back unless I restart the game, we're right here. So yeah. We're already sorry. Nothing really seriously you guys missed, in truth. Actually, I do want to get the soundtrack, to be honest. But, nothing, you guys didn't miss anything serious. We're actually, we're actually just about to come to the very first choice of the chapter. Um, it was like one screen, but it was just like, hey, we're here in the computer room. That's it. So, you didn't really miss much. Anyways, we follow Marcus into what I can only describe as a control room of sorts. There are countless of computer screens, some of which are obviously coming back from having been turned off, or shut off. Everything looks extremely complicated, from the screens filled with code and data to what is obviously a security system. It reminds me of a miniature version of an operations center in just about every space travel movie I've ever seen. Marcus is running from one screen to another. Apparently he's looking for some pertinent bit of information. Where's the first aid kit? I snap at him. Marcus stops in his tracks, as if he had forgotten the whole reason for bringing us down here. Oh yeah, he says, rushing to the left side of the room. There he hunkers down by an open panel in the wall, what I assume is an emergency vault from where he got the rifle. I peer into the vault, and then this is where the power went out, so I peer over Marcus's shoulder. Onto the vault he opened. It's much larger than it looked from the outside. It's particularly filled with folders marked classified, a few rounds of ammo for the rifle, a particular plastic kit filled with syringes, and a locked black box. As Marcus digs around, one of the folders slips open for a split second. For the split second it opens. I see its scanned document and a colored photo. The photo shows a male's corpse with its guts on the inside out of its body, as if it had been turned inside out. There's also massive swelling around the head, also like his skull is about to explode. Marcus slaps the folder closed, and then I turn my attention to one of the syringes. It's filled with a violet-colored fluid that would, well, while rather pretty in color, looks deadly. Marcus pulls out the first aid kit and turns around. When I look back to motion Dennis over. He's paler than ever. Come on, I tell him, but he's not moving from the place on the floor where he sits against the wall. I slid the first aid kit over to him and go scrambling to his side. Between the struggle for the rifle upstairs and arriving in this room, he's faded fast. Struggled to lift his shirt up and then over his shoulders. As dry blood holds in place, the mere act causes him to grimace. So we'll hurt a little bit, I tell Dennis. He only nods. He doesn't seem to care. Alright. The truth is, if it's stuck, if it's dried up and stuck to the wound, pulling it quickly could make it worse, but pulling it off gently may not be enough force, so we will rip it off quickly. This is gonna hurt. You decided to rip off Jenna's shirts quickly. Figuring out that the old ripped band-aid off metaphor applies here, I tear off the shirt off him quickly. Plus, I don't feel like we're exactly have a lot of time here. Dennis lets out a scream of pain and fury. What the hell, man? Sorry, I say, casting the blood shirt aside for the moment. Losing pain, he leans back against the wall and it takes a series of deep breaths. His wound is more visible now, although it is particularly hidden by the blood that has started to clot around it. The medical knowledge is slim. Mostly just a bunch of basics I learned in Boy Scouts. I learned over the markets, hopefully, and asks, you have any training? Zero, he says, sorry. It's just as well, I hope. He's far too concerned with what's happening on the monitors to be much help anyways. I start by taking out several rolls of gauze, within the kit and wipe as much blood as I can away from the wound to his side. It's even worse than I figured from the start. The gash is deep and dark. I'm pretty sure it's infected too. He's gonna need stitches, that's for sure, but I have no idea how to even start. Besides, I don't see any tools in this kit. When I splash some rubbing alcohol over the wound, he responds with a hoarse yelp of surprise. Nothing more. His eyes lock onto me and he looks appreciative, but he's also scared. Be honest, and it says hopefully. How bad does it look? You think I'll live? To be honest, yeah, you're not. Again, so I do actually have some decent medical knowledge in me. In this case, yeah, it's deep and dark and it might be infected, but you'll live as long as we can stop it from getting worse. Now, since they only say it's deep and dark, I don't actually know how big the gash is, but since they didn't really, since they really didn't say it was like a deep gash, they just said the gash is deep and dark. It's hard to tell. Also, they don't say how wide the gash is. So, and that's important because obviously if it's a wide, deeper gash, then that does matter. If it's a tiny but deep gash, then that's not as prominent as a wider, deep gash. So, also doesn't say how long the gash is. So for all I know, from my perspective, it could be, what would be a good analogy here? You know, a brush, no, I would just say it could be a very small length, like I would say, it could be, for all I know, 2 centimeter deep gash. Something similar to a paper cup. I'm gonna be like, you're fine. You choose to come for Dennis. Good to know, he says. But I sure don't feel like that. You've been through hell. I think it feels worse than it actually looks. Thanks, that's a relief. I won't lie, you're gonna have a scar. I was saying, trying to be funny. Chuckles a bit, but there's no humor in it. Presses it against the wall and closes it. Ah, this is I finish up. I place 1 layer of gauze against the wound and bind it with medical tape. Then I reinforce it with a 2nd layer. I know it's meager, but that's all I can do. Thanks, Roger, he says. I actually managed to force out a smile. I feel a lot better. I think I'll be fine. Not sure about that, but I'm glad I was able to encourage him. I look back to Marcus, and he is looking back at us, deep in thought. I was starting to really swell up from where he kicked me. Maybe I shouldn't have let him off so easily. Are these first aid kits all you have in this facility? I ask. If there's something better, I don't know about it, he says. Then I noticed that his defense posture is no longer there. Something is different, just a slight change in demeanor. He's seen something on those monitors that frightened him more than he already was before. What is it? What's wrong? So I travel around the room, and it's obvious that he's trying to decide whether or not to tell me the truth. Okay, this, okay, so, let me assess the situation in this particular spot. Marcus does not like me. I'm more sure it's because of the fact that I got, as he stated earlier, chapter 2. Excuse me. Just, yeah. So, as he stated in chapter 2, he didn't like me because of the fact that I got in here without anything stopping me. So I don't think he actually has anything personally against me. And looking at the monitors earlier, I wouldn't really know what I'm looking for. So, I'm on, spit it out. Just what in the hell is going on here? I asked, not even really sure I want to know the answer. That's how I feel. His defiant gaze tells me that he's not going to be any help, so I decide to look around for myself. So for me, I see a few things that even I can comprehend in a hidden complex of information on the screen. On the screen, I look like there's a power meter that is slowly climbing upwards. I expect to follow power failure. Foreign entity. Another message ticking at the bottom says safety locks on level 3. Containment doors engage. Override? I see still screens on a few other screens, and I assume there are security families showing the hallways and patches where else in the facility. One of them shows the first level hallway where we were just a few minutes ago. Another shows a hallway I don't recognize. The floor is covered in blood. Oh! From just off that screen, I can see what might be the human body, but it's bent in an impossible way. It looks like the body's legs and torso just somehow merged or melted into the floor. Let's be real. We know that, he doesn't know what the fuck's going on. So let's just be real in this case. This place has backups for its backups, Marcus says. It's not ever supposed to share a full electrical shutdown. And what does this foreign entity mean? I have no idea. That keeps coming on and off. Whatever it is, it keeps entering and exiting to set off the sensors. What the hell, I ask? There's something happened. We're still in danger? He turns away, clearly fearing he has already said too much. And as bad as that is, there is a scene on the other monitor that makes my blood go cold in fear to spike levels nowhere near Twitter. The scene is very familiar. It's the lodging site. The equipment is unmistakably mine. I could see even my truck. Something like fury starts to rise up my gut, momentarily pushing aside that fear. For a moment, I consider just tearing into him. A few punches and a shove against the wall. Nothing more. I want answers and I want them now, but I'm not sure what would provide answers. Asking calmly or kicking his ass. To be completely honest, I've already tried calmly. Like, we've already asked nicely. We even asked him earlier. He doesn't want to talk. So, I am in the situation. But we, like, you know what? I didn't beat your ass earlier. But as much as I would like to beat his ass now, asking him calmly would be better. Could you please explain to me why you've been spying on my crew? My anger is prodding at me, and I have to hold it back again. It's nearing the surface, demanding a release. It was part of my job, mine and a few others. Your crew has been watched ever since you set up your equipment. Why? Because you're working with heavy equipment, some of which dig into the ground, less than a mile from a secret government facility. I had no idea of that. How could I have known? Marsh gives me that same crooked, trembling smile that's been beginning to creep me out. Because those things would draw attention to this place, he says. You have no idea how secretive this facility is. Besides, I know that the higher-ups looked into it. Your site isn't on a government land. It's shy about 300 yards. Every piece of your equipment is on private property. The timber contract you purchased from Mr. Gomes was 2 months ago, so even if we wanted to intervene and keep your crew away, we couldn't have without stirring up a fuss. The fact that someone such a low-level clearance knows as much about my logging crew is unnerving. If you've been watching us, why didn't you recognize us when we met in the hallway, I asked. He shakes his head and it's obvious. The cameras have a bird-eye view. I can't see faces. We just track bodies and names. Asked calmly. So since you have all this surveillance, do you know where the rest of my crew is? Let's keep my voice level, even though my impulse is to shout. Well, Marcus says, all of you were on the site as usual before the incident. It had been a few hours since I had last checked, though. They might have come near the facility, or maybe not, I don't know. He says this casually, like it's not important. Well, are they inside the facility, I asked? You have cameras everywhere, right? Did you see them? He shakes his head. I've been looking all over and I haven't seen your crew. They aren't here. But he adds, the lower levels don't have any cameras. It's classified. I'm not sure how they would have gotten there, but it is possible. I'm so shocked that we were being watched. Do they know everything about us? I'm telling you, Marcus said, the depths of influence in this facility goes deep. There are about 36 employees down here. Outside of those employees, only 5 other people know this place exists. I'm still gonna ask calmly because, again, there's a reason this. What are all those people do here? I ask, keeping my voice low. He doesn't even pause to consider if he should go any further. He actually laughs when he gives me the answer. Honestly, I don't know everything. Probably a little, but what I do know is that it's more than Black Ops. What does that mean? I ask. There are scientists here who have been disowned by their own governments because of the nature of their work. You get it now? No, not at all, but I don't want him to know about that. You said there are 36 employees. Where are they now? Shakes his head. As far as I know, everyone else is gone. Gone where? He points to the screen, still in the form of this unexpected power failure, and cringes. If this power failure was not corrected in time, there's no telling. But there is something in this facility somewhere, right? Yes. Someone will be able to help Dennis better than I can. I just don't know. They could be anywhere. Look, I say, furious with the way he's talking in riddles. I don't. Oh God, Dennis says. Look over to him. He pale as a ghost. He stood up and his eyes are locked on the monitor closest to him. What? I ask. Someone points to the monitor and then looks away. The monitor, it's a seated lodging site. But more specifically, I see the only turned around with legs sticking out of it, wearing the work boots right where I left him. Tony. The fact of his death still seems abstract, almost like it happened in some other world or a very long time ago. And now that you already told me he was gone, Dennis whispers, but it's different actually seeing him. My God. Suddenly something blazes on the door open. The shape is fast and shadow, but I'm pretty sure it's a person. Someone else is here, Marcus says, wheeling around. He sounds very happy to discover this, so I try to follow his lead. If something bad happened that's filled with this, surely his assignment to survive is a good thing, right? No! We should check it out, he says. I realize this isn't the best moment to leave Dennis after revisiting Tony's death and all over again. Someone just ran by the door, I tell him. Hopefully it's someone who can help us. Alright. So I should probably explain. In this situation, it is not a good idea to let emotion take control. This is something I'll probably be saying just in future sense. Because, yes, if this was in any other situation, beating him would have been appropriate. Like, punching him out would have been nice. But the truth of the matter was, it's not going to help the situation. Me beating him may make me feel better, but it's not going to solve my problem any faster. So that's why I was asking just calmly. In this particular case, I'm not going to leave a dude behind unless there's an absolute need. It's fine. Go see who it is, he says, giving me a mocking thumbs up. Turn to Marcus and motion for us to head out to investigate. Let's be careful, Marcus. Depending on who it is, they might not be hesitant to shoot a stranger as I was. I nod at him as I head for the door. So holding the rifle in my hand, I don't know if I have the guts to actually use it if needed. The final look at back to this, I look outside in the second level hallway. Ooh. Spicy. Ha! Preaching clear. Marcus follows. There's still fear in his eyes, but slightly glimmer of hope. That hope is contagious. We take off to the figure that just ran past the command center. Ahead of us, the facility presents yet another long hallway. Right away, I notice that this little facility seems darker than normal lights on our now. The hallway is adorned with numbered yellow doors and large white panels along the wall. It's clean and well maintained, but there's something anonymous about it. Up ahead, I see a fleeting motion of something dark cutting quickly to the left of the corner. There, I say quietly, pointing ahead. Marcus gives a nod. We continue chasing after the person we blazed by the command center just moments ago. Then it occurs to me that this person could be like Marcus at first, armed and scared. Shouting's just gonna startle them. But either way, we're gonna startle them. I'd rather keep it. When we reach an intersection hallway, I did see him. I ease around the corner just in case. Sure, I have a rifle in my hands, but I don't want to use it unless I have to. Quickly dart around the corner and then take shooting stance I've seen countless times in Navy. There's a woman standing there about 10 feet away. She's reddish, blondish hair and small, mousy build. She looks terrified and is visibly shaky. She's probably in her 30s, wearing a lab coat, dark jeans, and green. Oh, nice. I have a strange sense that her fear is not just of our appearance and appearance. The woman looks like she's here for a while. Her hands are raised in the stern as she's not holding a weapon. Marcus slowly approaches and takes a few steps ahead of me. It's Amy, right? He asks. She looks seemingly surprised that he knows her name. Yes, she says. Are you Mark? Marcus. She nods at him and then looks to my rifle. We just want some answers. She laughs nervously and echoes loudly. What's our home? Don't we all, she says. Our friend back in the command center who needs medical attention. And we're looking for the rest of our crew. I'm really sorry, but I don't know where they are, she says. Do you know what happened from the power outage? I don't know what caused it, but there was an experiment taking place when the outage occurred. Something happened then. Trails off, giving me a look of distrust. I saw things on the security monitor, Mark says. The experiment failure, didn't it? I don't know the specifics. I barely escaped the 3rd floor. I was going to the command center to see if the security footage showed anything, but then I saw you and the gun. Listening to their conversation, I'm feeling totally in the dark. Okay, so, I know she's not trusting right now, and I am not trusting anyone that I don't know. I'll shoot a motherfucker if I have to. But, what experiments? Amy looks at me, her eyes wide and terrified. Who are you anyway, she asks. Quickly give her her story, a lodging center in the particular. And as I tell her, recognize blooms in her eyes. You're one of the lockers? Yes. She looks to Marcus and says, I thought they were being watched. They were, Marcus says. This is a freak accident and there's no proof that they were responsible. I feel myself wanting to submit to all their questions and are pulling in my head, but Dennis is waiting for me. I need medical attention. That's what we need. I decided that to send my curiosity, I need to get Dennis help as soon as humanly possible. Look, is there any medical help to be had or not? I asked. Probably, but you'll have to find Colonel Barker. He knows where all that sorts of supplies are. And where is he? Where's everyone else? At this point, she falls to her knees as if someone struck from behind. Gone. Some were killed, and some were just, I don't know, they disappeared right in front of me. These are the same question, but this one's more relaxed. Yeah, they were here 1 second, gone the next. Just she snaps her fingers together for an effect. Gone. Something's here with us. Says. We were conducting an experiment and it all went horribly wrong. Something came through. Came through what? I don't even know that much. An entity, but whatever it is, it's still here somewhere. And my response. How could you not know? Don't you have full security access? No, I have access to almost everything, but there are 2 levels of security beyond my clearance. So what did you suggest we do now? I'm not sure. But if you want to find your crew, we need to find Barkside. He's in charge. Where is he? Down on the 3rd floor in the hangar. And let's go. It's not that easy, Amy says, looking at my rifle in my hands. Why not? Like I said, something came through in the power out. Are several of them, all roaming the 3rd floor level. Look, I don't want to be that guy. Under any other circumstance, I would say, cool, let's get the out and go. But since that I can't, my next level of thought, since this Bart guy seems to be, I think they said Colonel Bart. I could be wrong of the title, but Barksdale. I'm gonna go with it doesn't matter.
Are you about to?
Hold on 1 minute. You can't, they just killed you. They'll kill you. I can and I will, I said. I haven't come this far to be told I can't go any further. My friends need my help. There are only a few things on this death. She says, you won't stand a chance on your own. She's right, Marcus says, stopping my train of thought. There are things I saw on the monitors. It was crazy. This is insane, I bark. I'm going to the 3rd lot to find this Barkside guy. Thanks for your help. Wait, Marcus says, I'm sticking with you. If you want to go get out of here, we have to find Barkside, right? Yeah. Amy says, but Barksy's on the 3rd floor, and it's too dangerous to go back there. I figured I'd let them make their own decision. In the meantime, starting back to Command Center to get Dennis. Before I get there, I hear their footsteps calling me. Come closer. I gave Amy a questioning look, and she quickly looks away, clearly torn. Neither one of you know your way around, she says. Looking for Barkside on your own would be suicide. Like it or not, she has a point. Fine, I say. Then let's get Dennis from the Command Center and head down together. Well, this is gonna be, interesting. Hold on 1 minute. We're in the Command Center, and I'm happy to see that Dennis had regained some of his color. We're gonna get you some help, I tell him, and then we're gonna find our crew and get the hell out of here. More help would be great, he says. The way you ripped off my shirt earlier, I'm not letting you touch me again. Wait, Amy says, maybe one of us should stay here with him. I'll be okay, Dennis says. His hands out with the field. Run. You don't know what's out there, Amy says. I saw them. I saw what they could do. This facility is not safe. Okay, well, you don't really know what they could do since you didn't want to tell me, so as far as I'm concerned, are there any on this floor? Not sure, she says, but they are down on the 3rd floor, so we'll need to be careful. Chris looks a little hesitant, but he nods in agreement, and the 4 of us exit the Command Center. And then back out to the hallway, I look to the monitors. Feeling fun, I look at the screen that shows my rectal clock and I can feel a pang of sorrow. And look to the other monitor showing live feeds of the facility security cameras. I try to tell myself that I'm not looking for any signs of Amy's creatures, but I can't. That's exactly what I'm doing, and there's no need to pretend otherwise. We head back through the hall and towards the elevator. The tension exists between us, like it's a physical presence. Okay. Oh, cool. This really nice looking elevator. We step inside the elevator, and those pristine doors close. Inside the elevator, Amy seems to be much more guarded and distant from us. But they're sure that I mean no harm, but I'm also not going to put the rifle down. So you have pre-got clearance in this place, right? I ask. That's right. So what kind of experiments are we talking about? What went wrong? She starts to answer my question. I can tell that is there something of a relief for her to get some of it off her chest. There's been a lot of work on a project taking place over here over the last 3 years or so. The purpose is to find out if there's any real viable science behind point-to-point instantaneous, like teleporting. Oh my god, Mark says. No idea. I knew there was some weird stuff here, but nothing this insane. It's really not all that insane, Amy says. We found our first major breakthrough about 9 months ago. We were able to teleport a live rat from the cage on level 3 to a small lab in New Mexico. The trip took the rat only 5 seconds. You kidding me, Dennis says? I could tell that he wants to sound as if he's mocking the idea, but he falls silent. He is scared. Not at all. The problem was when the rat arrived, its retainers were detached and intestines were on the side of its body. Well, we might as well keep asking about him. Well, it's about 6 months. We successfully made the same experiment. The rat arrives in great health, and this time in just 3 seconds. Still, one of the things that we need to tweak and wanted to make it completely safe now is how to figure out how to keep the subject on a straight course. When the matter is being transmitted, not only are the atoms being unknit and then put back together upon arrival, I know what she meant, but yes, deconstructed, translated through space is the only way we know how to do it right now. The issue, as I said, comes in keeping the deconstructed subject on a straight course to its destination. When the process occurs, we are deforming space-time, we are creating a shortcut through space, and that has risks. What exactly, Dennis asks? Because there are some more dimensions in space than 3 we can exist on. There are some evidence that say there are as many as 10. So when you send the rat to New Mexico, it's traveling through another dimension to get there? Basically, and because of that, we're trying to make a better understanding of what the other dimensions are capable of. There's a great deal of population would be scared if they knew what we were doing, hence all the privacy. And today the power went out right when we were in the middle of an experiment. Something happened. What? I don't know. She's speaking with authority of someone who knows what she's talking about. Ah, yes. We're now Warhammer 40k, where the warp is now apparently a thing. Oh, good job, people. Is that why those creatures are here? That's my assumption, she says. I wasn't present with the experiment. I'm not clear for such things, but I do get the reports. What reports? I even have access to the results of the test. In other words, Marcus replies, clearly upset. You guys have been peeking into other dimensions and taking notes on what you say. Can't believe I wasted my whole life for this, he murmurs. He looks to himself, starting to freak out. Maybe it's quiet. Her expression indicates that she's wanting to see how I react to all of this. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's actually legitimately cool. So this is interdimensional stuff. No way. Ryan's on the other hand, as extremely. I don't want anything to do with this. He says, all this time I've been working for. He laughs currently. It makes my blood go for a moment. Just a single level beneath my feet. You assholes have been tearing space-time apart. He continues. The door open. I can't get out fast enough. The tension is growing way too thick for my liking. Marcus, I may have to put you down. I don't want to, but I'm going to have to. Outside the elevator, we step out for what appears to be a massive industrial area. The carnage awaiting for us is unlike anything I've ever seen in the upper levels. Oh, goody. Oh, goody. There it looks industrial, like everything was built for utility only. But more noticeably that there is all that blood. My god, I've never seen so much blood. Those creatures must have had a field day. Holy shit, Marcus says, looking at the man that just woke up from a very bad dream. There's more personnel in this area when the experiment went around. Hey, why? He says, as if the experimentation makes it any better. The research you all went down here had better be worth it, I say. We've got to get moving or we're going to lose her nerve. Amy, let's focus. Bark silence in the hangar. If he's still alive, yes, that's where it'll be. Then let's hurry, I say. President, that is doing much better. But I'm beginning to grow tired of keeping my fear at bay. No, the science of level 3, and Amy talks about the lab rats. I'm getting freaked out. And in truth, although I have the rifle, I have no idea where I'm going. It would make no sense to let me lead. But I do have the gun, so they'll probably make them feel safer. For us to start walking with me in the lead. We start walking and we come to the remains of what looks like to be 3 different people. It's hard to tell how many bodies were here because they've been torn to shreds and are just stored in them. 2 of the bodies look as if though they have been fused together. Oh, sweet. Other man looks to have his leg wielded through the floor. I see this man's face. He died an object of horror. His mouth pried open in the internal scream. I mean, I can investigate the bodies as much as I want, but the truth is I'm probably not going to get much out of it. My job isn't here to figure out how these people died. My job is to make sure I can get Dennis better medical help. Simply too much. Worse than that is the fact that we have to start our journey through level 3. If there's worse waiting ahead, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. Dennis steps up beside me and then he speaks. His voice is soft and flat. What the hell could do that? So many asks. Things I saw. You could do pretty much easily, I think. She looks pale, and I think she may have passed out for a moment. Tears spill from her eyes, and it's visibly shaking. She shoulders on, looking back to me and stepping to the side of the gruesome carnage. Her eyes again go to my rifle, and she doesn't look very hopeful. To go? I need to move on, but for some reason I can't take my eyes off the screen. My mind is really trying to process it all. Again, I don't want to be hanging around here. I'd rather not. We leave the gruesome scene by moving into another short area. For what I can tell, the next room was once more of an open for experimentation. This place hasn't been destroyed. It's been physically altered in a way that makes no sense. The grinders look like they've been warped. Very materials stored and twisted. had been capsized and looks like it's somehow merged with the wall rather than crashing into it. These, well, there is a standard violence I was expecting to see. There's a limp arm sticking out of underneath wreckage and more blood. I see no sign, which makes me wonder just how this happened. Yeah, I think it's enough. Makes me wonder if Amy saw blood. Murders? I only caught a glimpse of it, she says. It was like trying to focus your eye on something that was too close. They just started twisting, but not curling or breaking. It was these creatures are able to deform matter. Echo through the facility. It comes from behind us, slightly to the right. I'm not sure what it was, but it makes my blood feel like ice. It's almost as if static from an AM radio, but it's a high-pitched noise beneath it that I can't start to fathom. What the hell was that? I asked, like clapping my hands to my ears. One of them, she says, her voice whispers, one of those creatures. That's what they sound like, then it says I see him leaning against the wall, making a dull noise. I realize I have a death grip on the rifle, ready to shoot at the next thing I see. I want to know what's between us. Not really, she says. None of the hallways are blocked off by security doors. Everything seems to take this as a cue to start moving, and we walk away around the office wreckage now with a new purpose in our step. We make it to the outside of the room, approaching the dark hallway when another high-pitched noise drowns out. This one's louder. It's closer. We're all terrified looking. I can tell that Amy's on the verge of losing him. I grab the rail tail as we head towards the hall in front of us. But they warp matter, man. My bullets ain't gonna do shit. It suck. How much further? Oh, she says, it's just on the other end of this hallway. That speaks up like a voice. Why don't we just haul ass then, huh? No one says anything after that, but I feel the presence of terror around us, pressing on like some new violent. Ooh. Oh. Yeah, that's, I expected that one. It's only still that way as well. It looks as if though it was designed to only be used by selected maintenance workers. What goes on in this area? I looked at Marcus as I asked a question, but he only shrugs in response. She might know, he replies, but I've never been down here before. It's just a utility hallway, Amy says, but at the end there's a maintenance room. There should be a gun or two in there. It's almost the direct path to the hangar entrance. I walk quietly. I take a glimpse ahead and I feel a hair on the back of my neck stand on end. Let's become more sparsely spaced out. It's impossible to see just how far the hallway extends into the darkness. So all it's occasionally traces of bloodshed, but it's nothing like the main area we've come from. We continue further down, and just as I begin to see what looks like a large metal door ahead, I hear another shrill sound. It sounds further away, but it's no less demonic. How many of these things do you see? 3, but that's just what I saw. There could be more. What do they look like? Yeah, what was the... since Dennis is asking, now would be the appropriate time. Yeah, what are we dealing with? I don't even know how to explain them, she says. Monsters that... the only word I can think of. My mind seems to struggle trying to understand what I'm seeing. They're big, and they seem to jerk around every few weeks or so. They also look like they're made of light. That's all I know for sure. You know, my ex-husband always said that I let my work kill me, she continues, seemingly unable to stop herself. I mean, I doubt he imagined it. This exact letter, but still. And the hangar doors, and you know the high-pitched rings. Angry now. Amy stops walking as all causing all stop and turn to her. You have to do something to slow these things down, she says. No, Marcus snaps. There's no time. We need ourselves and get angry fast. Amy ignores him. Even though there's an old hydraulic door sitting in the wall right here, she says. It hasn't used for years, though. Let me play it. You know, we might be able to pull it closed behind us. Get those things back. Those old hydraulic doors weigh a ton, Marcus says. There's no way it will work. Roger, Amy says. What do you think? Well, I'll have a hard time getting it too if those doors are locked. Look, Marcus shouts. Get to the hangar now. Oh, this is gonna be one of those times. Alright. This is gonna cause everyone to die. But we'll try. Well, no, wait, Dennis and I start looking as well. I'm past the 19 all our friends sound like that. Is that it? Yes, Amy says. Look at the floor and see an old metal track that runs along the frame. Let's move it, Amy says. And I start pulling as hard as we can. But it barely budged for an inch. Behind us, that static noise rings out again. My heart froze. Then Marcus lets out a little whine. We're running out of time. We need to go, Marcus says. Those things are getting closer every second. Marcus, help us. If I die, I'm gonna die under glories. We won't make it different, he says. We shut up and help us, and then we'll find out. Lily walks over and grasps the door. We're grown, and we all strain pull. It instantly closes before moving settling. Once we get it started, it slides easily. As we all closing off the wall behind us, I can see that it merely glimpses an odd shape in the darkness. Cuts off by the slightest thump of the hydraulic wall being pushed against the frame in the opposite wall. Amy turns to lock it in place. Wait, now let's haul ass, Marcus says. We're all moving again, still feeling unsure about our prospects. The fact that yet another shrill noise out somewhere else in the facility is not calming. And then there are two of them. It's almost like they were calling out to each other. Doors and hangers slid up ahead like the entrance to some enormous labyrinth. Oh! Yeah. Yeah, I'll just shut that door. There. Oh boy. When we reach the hangar doors, I get a true sense of how impregnable they are. A computer terminal is mounted to the wall nearby. It has a blinking red lamp. Any idea what this means, I ask? It's an automated lock. I fail safe from lockdowns. Who says, I never been able to go down here before. Mark says, if I had known this door was here, I would have opened it earlier. How? Amy asks. The funeral voice is more present than ever. The man said that you need to override from there first, then use this terminal to open the hangar doors. Command center is on the second floor, I ask. Yeah. Shakes her head and lets out a nervous laugh. You're kidding me. We pulled the hydraulic door and blocked off the hallway, remember? If we want to get into this hangar, we have to go back to the command center. Isn't there another way? Turning to Marcus, Amy replies, well, there is another elevator, but we'll need to go through the biochem storage. I need to stay with Dennis so he can rest, I say. You two go. You know you're around this place and you know the controls, Marcus. Fine, Marcus says, but we'll need to be armed. Yeah, Marcus, you're not mentally well. I'm giving Amy the gun. She's more logically thinking. You're letting your emotions get the better of you. You're an IT kid. I hand me the rifle and she turns to Marcus. Marcus gives me a concerned look, but follows behind her. Once Marcus and Amy take a good distance down the hall, Dennis lets out a nervous laugh. And then there were two, he says. Dennis looks much better, but he still uses the wall to stance. And didn't Amy say that there were guns and emergency kits in the maintenance room near the hangar doors? Yeah, I think so, Dennis says, looking exhausted. Look ahead to the door straight maintenance. Might as well give it a try. It opened and find out that it's locked. I really don't want to damage any more than I already have. Give it a hard shove, but it doesn't budge. Try again, but that's when I hear a gunshot from down the hall. First thought is that Amy and Marcus have come up to those things, one of those monsters. I don't hear any strange static, and I've come to associate it with them. I was going on my head, and before I knew, I'm heading down the hall away from the hangar door. Stay there and I'll be right back. See if you can figure out how to get into the maintenance room. Where are you going, he asks. Don't bother answering him as I bound through the door where Amy and Marcus went. Oh, goody! You guys just like causing trouble and attention. Don't we? Another room, massive. I wonder where classified chemicals would be inside of them. Ones we don't want to be a part of. Fully expected one of Amy's creatures to come flying through the intersection hallways up ahead. Over everything I hear a voice, a woman's voice. It's Amy's. Stop, let go of the gun. Or she ahead of the so fast that I tripped over two people in a life test struggle. Well, I tries to process what I'm saying, but it makes no sense. None at all. Marcus wrestling at me, trying to take her gun away. When it doesn't work, he throws her to the ground and starts choking. Her face is turning purple and his eyes look like she's popped out of her head. When someone sees me out of the hallway, but acts as if though he's doing is perfectly normal. We can ask questions after we stop him. Start rushing and I really want to know what I'm doing. I bring my fist hard arc to the bridge of his nose and rewarded with a sigh of crackling. He cries out, falls to the ground, looking at me and understanding why I punch him. Lauren clutches her neck and grasps for air. Starting to feel that I was at the moment too late, just I see the rifle has been tossed to the ground. Chris seems to notice that at the moment I do. Fucking hit him again! I deliver a surprising strong blow with my right hand, clipping his chin from my awkward position. In the process of planting his knee to his chest to hold him down where his foot comes out of nowhere and landing hard. The kid catches me squarely in my ribs, knocking me out of breath. What the hell are you doing? He yells at me. By killing her, I'm saving us all. All of this was her fault. I sense that he truly believes this, but if that's the case, then why not just attack her when we were all together? The answer's simple. He might have stopped him. He wanted to kill her in private. And then what? What would he have done with the same to Dennis and me? It seems something really when the first come on he's one of this. It's been so revealed to see another human being that I underestimated just how unhinged he was. Marcus and I both dived for the rifle, staying all over the floor and started wrestling for possession, but I'm not confident I'll get away with it. As we struggle to start inching the muzzle of the gun towards my face, I position I don't want to be in. I start pushing back hard. But if this is an accidental fire, I'm not sure where I prefer the bolt to go. Room full of chemical tanks. Well, we're gonna have to force it. I grunt as I push the gun towards his face. Realizing he's literally looking down the barrel of the gun, Marcus ducks his head out of the way. This makes me lose leverage, allowing me to yank the gun from his grip. I quickly get to my feet as I can, swing the rifle around back on him. For a moment, I think I've knocked him out, but his eyes flutter and he looks as if I betrayed him. Her people, he says. They did this. She deserves it. She did this. I took Amy and wish I could help her. I'm relieved to see that she's managed to draw in a few breaths. Next moves and tries to push herself towards the sitting position. You don't work under their scrutiny. You don't know what it's like to. Surprises me by laughing. When you know it's me. I don't have time to think currently. I have to react fast. Try to. If we can move out of the way, we can shoot. His aim is poor and his strength is failing, so I dodge immediately. I don't want to have the gunshot go off and alert those creatures to where we are. A hard job of a butt of the rifle striking in the chest. Something crunches and he's out of low share. He groans for a moment and then goes to his knee. And more pain in the floor. Only a few moments. I realize that they are not for the screams of pain. Bastards is calling them, calling for those creatures to come for us. It is evil alongside with everyone involved. He yells. If you are taking our side, then you deserve to die too. You want to stop me? You better do it now, you coward. Rage in his eyes, Amy towards me. Stop. He makes me think that he'll deliver on his threat. I raise the rifle again to urge my body willingly to make sure he doesn't come back to bite us in the dust. But I'm not a violent man. I could not kill him and just leave him behind. Unfortunately, let me think about this for a moment. Marcus has been trying my patience for a little too long, and now he's just shown his true hand. I have to end you before you become a problem. I aim at the head and start squeezing the trigger, but I can't comprehend the motion while I'm looking at him. I close my eyes and squeeze the trigger, the muzzle bursts, and I hear Marcus completely crumble to the floor. It's not for another 10 seconds that I realize I've been standing there frozen until my eyes close and my cleats tense. I look at Marcus' body instead of leaning down to ask me, "You okay?" She knows I have to go. She says, "Don't be here any minute. Too much noise." I have told her we start towards it, and then I think Dennis, we should go back to the hangar doors. I said, I can't leave Janice there. Sometimes she says, you need to come with me to the command center now. We'll be back for him soon. And Marcus said by normal, trying to comprehend the fact that my own hands caused him to die. Third point in my life that I'll never recover from. But there's no time to weigh that now. As I look at him, another high-pitched static rings from her else. It's louder and more furious. It takes off presumably towards another elevator she mentioned moments ago. This move, I look back once more at Marcus's body, motionless. We start running after the first strides another. It sounds mechanical, but at the same time, it almost reminds me of a recording I've heard of whale sounds. I sound them mechanical, cracking and crashing echoes through the door as I came through. I reached the hydraulic door we've pulled. It says it's the sound grows louder. It's clear that they're struggling with it. It's good. We have a bit more time. I do my step to follow Amy as she leads the way to the elevator. And I furiously but pushes on. Hear something rattling in her breath like the result of Marcus's attack. This makes me imagine how whose cold, uncaring eyes must have looked staring down at her as she tried to kill her to death. But how is she still forging on behind me? I'm sorry about Marcus, I said. It's not your fault. At least you handed me the gun. I just hope that we can find a way to survive this mess. Oh, we'll be fine. I'm not so sure, she says. Let's fix straight ahead. I'm not sure, I can't blame her. I just wanted to say the same thing. Something to encourage her. We finally come to the elevator. Oh. The elevator door slide open. At that moment, we hear something behind us, a strange sort of wailing noise. We step inside and turn to face the point of the room. Thankfully, we've been given a few moments to spare. The elevator doors remained open for 3 seconds before they started to close the shop. In those 3 seconds, a large shape floated towards us, a spherical, like white glow. The line behind it, another shape that's also encountered the platform, and another. The third one breaks away from the other two, taking a quick right. It moves eerie speed. A mock response. Honestly, I thought them feasting on his corpse doesn't bother me in the slightest. Amy is pressing the button to close the elevator door over and over, but they stay for what seems like an eternity. Curse whoever designed these damn doors. In truth, I don't know if bullets can affect them, so I really don't want to shoot if I don't have to. I so I saw ourselves against the sides of the elevator trying to avoid being seen. But I can't help peek around the corner. Hold the rifle ready to fire. That's when I see them in clear as light for the first time. I can see their features, their shapes, and their colors, but my mind can't quite process those. So nothing about them makes any sense. I just try to see a squid, but that's not what these things are. They're gray and white and nothing more than swarming lights. They appendage in their early legs, ignore technicals, but something in between. They don't walk. Not these appendages, but use them to glide. They're more like ghosts that seem to jerk every so few. I'm pretty sure that the jerking effect is not as a result of the movement, but my mind's inability to understand how they are moving exactly. Almost like their appearance makes a mockery of reality. As if the space within the room has reshaped itself to their existence. The vent of the air makes the room seem like I'm underwater. They screech in unison as they rush towards the elevator. They will be inside here in a few seconds. I check the rifle to see how much ammo is diminishing. I have to start saving on shots. I'm gonna have to choose wisely. Again, I'm just not gonna shoot for right now. You decided to conserve your ammo. They keep advancing. Even though I know the doors may not close in time, I manage to keep my cool and avoid firing any more rounds. I'm just inches to pull the trigger, but I resist. I'm not even sure if the gun would affect them. That's what I'm saying. Finally, they must close the creatures well against the other side of it, making the electrical noise and crying out in anger. Tips of their spider-like appendages poke through the wall and the lid door, but for some reason they can't get all the way through. Amy screams at us and curls through a ball first corner of the elevator, crying. I say nothing to her. I click to the rifle and hope those creatures didn't find Dennis as he waits in the hangs over where I left him. They're saying, our sake, we need to get this door. We need to get them. Ow. Alright! So that was chapter 3. A little bit of a technical issue. Oh boy, that was a lot. There was a lot of shit that went down that one. So much shit. Jesus Christ. Well, The blunt truth. You and 5 told Dennis he'll probably be fine. Slow him down. You and 35 decided with Amy on pulling the hydraulic door. Yeah, who to trust? Yeah, I gave you Amy. I'm sorry, I wasn't going to give him the gun. Murder or mercy? Yeah, Marcus was a massive threat. Now we're later. You thought we could hurry your bullets for later instead of shooting the creatures. Oof! Fuck, there's so much to say, and there's still only one more chapter, so with that being said, I'll collect my thoughts before we continue chapter 4, so until then, see you in the next chapter.